It's Sunday and we're going to go through, we're going to look at some motorhomes. So we've got a 2026 Auto Sleeper Kingdom, 89,995. So this is one that was selling on behalf of a customer that has basically, I think it's done about 500 miles, never been used, and yeah, I sort of think that they're trying to get too much back for it, but you never know if it's something that you're after. What a fantastic layout though, regardless of whether it's too much, too new. The layout on this, there's quite a lot of bits that they'd sort of put onto there. It's on the auto, and it's all still got all of the wrappers on, etc. It's brand spanking new. But what a great layout, what a really good layout, and really sort of well thought out motorhome. So yeah, that's a nice one, under 3.5 tonne, but £90,000. And it's got the little awning on the top. So again, if that's the sort of thing that you're after, that's very nice. Got another nice motorhome. So the Bessicar 2016, it's done about 11,000 miles, 43,000. So a really nice little under 3.5 tonne, 2-berth. It's got the gas low on there as well, so you just fill up the gas bottles. I believe that's still connected. The little hose is sort of still on there. And then a really nice little 2-berth. So makes into a little double bed, or can be used as smaller single beds. Little washroom, sort of separate shower and toilet on the side. So again, a cracking little motorhome if you're after something a little bit smaller. So we've got a little tribute tracker that's similar as well, so we'll make our way up to that. But we've got the Caravans, and sort of just on Friday's video I was talking about payloads and how much you should be putting in there, or how much you can put in there, and roughly it's normally about 150 kilos for a 4-berth. And again, motorhomes do tend to give you a little bit more payload, but it's scary how much that we take with us that we don't actually need. So that was sort of half the point of Friday's video, was the amount of things that we take with us that we don't actually need. So a really good time now as we sort of come more towards the end of maybe when we're going to stop using the Caravan for a little bit. Let's go through it, let's have a check, see what we are taking with us, what we actually need, and maybe even just weigh everything and check everything, make sure that that we really need what we've got in there. So again, 2024 Swift Charisma 580, so with a side island bed, 1462, needs a new smoke alarm battery, 22,995. Again, very clean, tidy, nice van. It's not been knocked around at all, this, so very nice one. But again, what we tend to do is when we've got our fixed beds, all of this storage, we end up filling up with too much, because we do want to take everything with us. So I would potentially say that a lot of people that have been away over this summer have most likely been onto sites where you've got your hookup. So let me know in the comments, have you been away to sites that have got mains electric, or have you been to sites where you've been off grid, you've just been using your solar, your battery and your gas? I would think that it's probably 70-30 maybe. So 70% of people are going to go away and use all the electric, and 30% of people are going to go away and use the gas. So we will tend to do both through the season. We will go some sites that have got sort of your mains electric, and then some sites where we're literally just off grid. So for that 70% of people, we'll know in the comments, won't we, after was I right or was I wrong. Fridge, heating, hot water, you're not going to potentially use that now on gas for maybe 6 months. We might run it up at the beginning part of the year, but when was the last time, if you've been on sites that you've sort of used your Caravan on grid, so you've been plugged into the electric. When was the last time you lit up your fridge, your heating system, your hot water system? So now is a really good time. We were away this last week with people, and as I say, we'd gone onto a site where we'd got no electric hookup, so we're all on gas, and the one caravan that they were using, hardly anything worked. So the fridge wasn't working on the gas, so they couldn't keep any of the food cold. Again, it's been the first time that it's been used on gas for a while. Found out that the fridge wasn't actually working, so causes quite a bit of an issue. So, and again, then sometimes the issue is when you're in the main sort of season, you'll find out just before you're about to go away your fridge doesn't work. You then can't get an engineer because everyone's so busy with servicing, fixing things, etc. You can't get anybody out to fix your fridge, and that then is a major part of sort of how you're going to be using your caravan, so it causes an issue. So a really good time now to run that fridge up on the gas, make sure that it's still working okay. If you aren't going to sort of use it on gas for 12 months, it's still worth doing it. It's still going to then save you costs in the future. And exactly the same with your heating and your hot water. Run them on gas. Actually just run them, make sure that they're lighting up, make sure that they're working okay, and it's just going to prevent issues as we get into the winter, especially if you're sort of going, oh, actually October is going to be our last time to go away. We're going to then put the caravan into storage, and it then might not come out till March. We need to run this gas system a good couple of times on separate occasions between now and when we put the caravan away for storage. So I think we are potentially getting more people that are using the caravan all year round, but again, it's potential that even if you are using it, you might not necessarily be using your gas system. So a really good time. Run everything up on your gas system, run it all, make sure it's all working, make sure all your hobs are working. Again, the hobs will have an issue where if you've not used them for ages, they will literally stick, so they'll light up and then they won't stay lit, so you have to unjam the little hob ring. So if these are lighting up but not staying lit, you can literally, and get the camera worker going, just bang the control dial, and that then should free up the mechanism with inside of there, and there's a little spring loaded magnet catch basically that makes the thermocoupler work and makes the contact, and it'll be that's potentially sticking. So by giving that a bit of a knock, it will then sort of free up the little valve in there, make it the contacts work again, and that should get them working. So if you've got any of your little 3 rings that aren't working or not staying lit, try that and it might just get them going. And again, you need to do that then every couple of weeks now, just to make sure that they don't seize back up again and stop working. So a really good time to do it. Nice little one, 2017 Coachman Vision 450. It's 1328 and it's 13495. So a nice little 2-berth. Got a nice Bailey Pursuit 545. So I think this was 2015. So a nice family van with a separate shower and toilet at the back. So again, a good sized washroom, got the bunk beds, and then a good sized kitchen area. So a nice little family van. 11995, it's 1394, so again a good weight for towing. So that is a really good little family van again, so lots of storage, and again even the blinking Hoover all in. So again, all this stuff like we're saying on Friday's video about the loading up and taking everything and the Hoover, quite literally everything and the Hoover. So Nice 2022 Sprite Freestyle Super. So this is 8 foot wide, 19995. It's 1566 kilograms. We've got the Alco ATC. We've got external barbecue point. We've got external 230 volt sockets. We've got under storage. No motor mover. That's a shame, isn't it? No motor mover. But again, not everybody wants motor mover. That just gives us more payload on the van. So again, a really nice 8 foot wide side island bed with the washroom at the back. So again, really nice. Family or a 2-berth van. So again, it's surprising how people, it's not always because it's 4-berth it's going to be used as 4-berth. It's a luxury 2-berth. And again, even if you've got a 5-berth, you can potentially put an awning onto the side and then sort of put a bedroom annex in there. So again, even if you go for a 2-berth as an occasional 4-berth, you can always on a 2-berth put your awning up outside, put sleeping annexes up outside, and again you've got the option to have other people coming away with you as well. So another nice way to do it. But yeah, it's a nice van with good spec. It's a special edition, so the spec on the special editions was just that little bit sort of up and beyond of the normal vans. The nice Adria, so we never got to look in this on Friday's video, and I said we'd have a look, and then we'll make it round to some of the motorhomes and we'll have a look in some of the little motorhomes over there as well. So 1900 kilos this one, so a big heavy van. We've got Alco ATC, we've got barbecue point, we've got motor mover, and a really nice big, still not been cleaned unfortunately. We've just had so many vans going out. We are lacking and well behind on the cleaning unfortunately, so I can only apologise that we've sort of not got up to standard where we should be at the moment. We've just been ridiculously busy trying to get vans out. But yeah, this is absolute luxury, 24995. Really nice van. These are 8 foot wide, huge big fridge freezer. So again, it's got the bigger fridge freezer in there, the nice island bed, and again the sort of the backrests on these, it's got a topper on there, but your backrests can come up, so you can put those so that they're reading in bed. You'll notice that the switches are more like a sort of posh house with a proper system built in where you've got lighting systems, etc. Nice washroom at the back. That is real, that's proper sort of hotel luxury, that washroom. This is potentially one of the nicest vans that we've had in for a while. Really nice. The way that the cabinetry sort of goes round on these, the systems that these have got in, the fancy little sort of lamp that you can take out into the awning if you have one out there, or you can put it at the little table at the front. Just really nice all the way through. All the spec and the finish on this is very good. So that's on sale at the moment. And then another smaller sort of 2-berth motorhome. So the little Auto Troll, the 2019 motorhome that we've got over here, 38995. So again, a really nice little T615. I don't think it had done too many miles again either. So big long seating, so you can use it as single beds. About 13,500 miles. We've got the aircon, got the cruise control, so really good spec on this, with a nice washroom and kitchen at the back. And then again, with your washroom, you've got the separate shower and toilet, so really nice. Little awning, so the wind out awning as well on the side. So yeah, very nice. I can't remember now whether the other little Adria that we've had come in, this has got single beds. I can't remember whether this is still for sale or not. It is. So it's the Adria Adora 612DL, 1700 kilos maximum. And then again, this has got the single beds in it. It's got the motor mover as well. I think I've done a little video on this already that will come up onto YouTube and Facebook, etc. over this next week. So again, they've got single beds where the mattresses sort of pop up again, so same as the other one. So if you want to read in bed, so even on the other island bed it still did the same as that, so they pop up. So quite a nice little sort of feature if you just want to stay in bed and read, etc. Nice washroom at the back. So again, a very, very nice one. And again, $15,995. I think that is great value for money. Really, really good value for money on that one. And again, the front seating, again, you can either use as single beds or we'll make up into a nice big double bed as well. But yeah, making sure we've run our gas system. Really, really good time to do it. A lot of people forget about it now. Over this summer, we've sort of said about cleaning our water system through. So again, if you've missed those videos previously of cleaning your water system through with all that heat that we had, it's a good time. A lot of people think about it at the beginning part of the season and not really do it again, but halfway through the season it's not a bad idea to run the Purely Clean in your Aquarol, run it through your taps, your water pipes. With all that extra heat that we've had, it's a really, really good time to do it. Again, you can do that on your toilet flush then as well. Fill up the toilet flush tank, flush it all through, and it'll just clean that tank through. So again, we've potentially put in the pink chemical that will create black bits in our toilet, so it's a good idea to start flushing that through. So again, next week we'll probably look a bit more on that side of things. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments, as I say, if you went to sites where you've got mains electric or just gas. Did you have your sort of hookup or didn't you? Did you find sites? It'd be interesting to see. I sort of think it's probably 70-30 in favour of people going to sites that have got your mains hookup, but let me know in the comments. Hopefully you've enjoyed this week's video. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark at the Caravan Place.